right? And basically Taha Hussein, right, picked up, right, certain ideas from, let's say, European Orientalism. I can think of two in particular. One is the idea that pre-Islamic Arabic poetry was not authentic, right? It was fabricated later, right? So this was one Orientalism. And the other one is, so this was, he used that, right, to say, can we trust, and this has something to do with Arabic studies itself, right? If we want to understand the language of the Quran, where do we go? Where do we turn to? We turn to pre-Islamic Arabic poetry, because that's Diwan al-Arab, that's the repository of the Arabic language, Arabic poetry, Arabic culture, right? And sort of like Taha Hussein comes and he says, but we can authenticate that, right? So can we really trust that as a historical document, or a document that gives us how Arabs used Arabic at the time the Quran was revealed, for example? So that he took this idea, right? And the other one is actually interesting because it's a more positive one, which is knowledge of ancient civilizations in Egypt and in Iraq and in Syria, right? Palestine, Syria, right? And he would use these, and these were all European discoveries, right? In Arabic books, you find mentions of these, but it was the Europeans who deciphered these ancient languages and published the text and translated them into modern languages, right? So he sort of, Taha Hussein then used this new knowledge about ancient Egypt to say, but Egyptian identity is rooted in ancient pharaonic Egypt, not in sort of Arabic Islamic Egypt only. So in a way, right, so this Orientalism, if you take it, right, it's a body of knowledge that travels, right? But when it travels, it picks up different functions, right?
Yes.
Right? And its function is not determined by how the West saw the function of Orientalism, but by how local or native intellectuals saw its proper place, or its place, not necessarily proper, in the larger scheme of how they were imagining their community. So Taha Hussein